Ladies and gentlemen, maybe you thought we had other plans. Maybe you thought on this road to Summer Madness 4 that we had enough. We seen what the Wilster had to say. We've seen what the Alpha had to say, and maybe we were going to change our mind. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen. Not when we have this man on here who has had some of the memorable appearances when you think of Sportswire Radio and some of the most memorable moments that we've had. This man's been a part of them. Some of them have been good, some of them not so good on his end, but he's going to tell us here why coming up this weekend, Summer Madness 4, why this unexpected team of Freak Show not only has momentum, but is going to take something that I see on his shoulder. I'll get to that because I'm currently confused already because I was going to go into a whole thing and now I have to find this man always does something to make himself memorable here on Sportswire Radio. That's why we're excited to have him here. As a matter of fact, we're so excited to have him here tonight in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that he and LBYW most certainly helped build. Sportswire Radio to the tune of over 1,500 plus subscribers that we actually had an opportunity to sit ringside at Raw tonight, just a few miles from my house. And I said, nah, I got a psychotic freak on here who's
Right.
about this road to Summer Madness. And I told my longtime buddy, Steven Saperstein, that he's going to have a change of plans because we got LBYW, Summer Madness 4 to talk about here. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rock, baby, because I know last week's guest, although maybe he's not going to appear tonight, he's going to certainly appear in the chat. And I know everybody else in the chat wants it. I know our guest has been waiting for it because this is the first time he's here in 2025. And you think about some of those memorable moments that he's had over the years. This is only the first time he's been here. We're going to make changes. We're going to certainly make this one memorable. And I promise you, I've even got a surprise of my own for our guest. And he has no idea what he's going to get. No, and it's not those North Dakota Reapers. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this week off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the #1 global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So, with that,
Oh, beautiful.
without further ado, here on the Sports Report, #1 global sports show. A man that needs no further introduction, but he's arguably a part of physically the biggest tag team in all of the backyard wrestling circuit. His name is simply put the Psychotic. The champ is here.
Absolutely.
My friend, what are we doing with that?
All right. So last night, I broke into the Alpha's house.
Yeah.
He wasn't home. But I did try to break into Wilster's house, but he got locks on this door.
Because you learned from previous attempts.
He finally locked his door. So then I went over to Napalm's house across town, got to hit his tag title, delivered that to Showtime. And now this is the future right here.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, it means that what we've just learned tonight in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters, Sportzwire Radio, the Psychotic Freak has once again broken into someone's home. This time it's Napalm's, and he's got those tag team championships, and he's got one of them right now on his shoulder. Boy, stated
not
that
only Napalm, but the Alpha too. I broke into both of them.
So you've got both championships, but one of them right now is on your shoulder, and right. Showtime's got the other on his. Right. And right now, I guess we can say that the Freak Show has sole possession of the tag team championships going into this Saturday, Summer Madness 4?
Absolutely.
4! That's what it sounds like to me.
I want to say thank you for putting me on primetime. And like last week, Will doesn't deserve to be on primetime. I'm glad you had him on like 3 o'clock or whatever time that was. He deserved that.
Well, I am sure he's going to be here in the chat for that. I'm sure he's going to have a rebuttal. I don't know if it was because maybe he had to make an early dinner. I don't know if it was because Jeopardy or reruns of the Atlanta Braves' latest loss maybe he had to catch. I don't know what it was, but scheduling, that's how it goes. And you should be a very lucky man right now because not only do you have possession of one of those tag team championships, and we know that Showtime has the other, and you broke into not one, but 2 houses to do that. It wasn't the Wilsters this time, but I've had quite a day. I started my day at 5 o'clock in the morning. I went to the dentist. I learned I needed a root canal. I had an opportunity to have a fine dinner in Midtown Manhattan. I had an opportunity to go to Monday Night Raw, but I turned that down because I'm going to speak with you, the Psychotic Freak. And, well, you certainly made it a reason why that I certainly made the right decision in not going to Monday Night Raw, sitting ringside by being with you, because what you have brought is maybe the biggest gift of all going into Summer Madness 4, because you and Showtime now, it seems, have possession of those LBYW Tag Team Championships, right, and what very well could be a sign of things to come.
And in fact, not only are we going to be tag team champions, we're going to walk out as tag titles at the end of the year. We will remain titles.
So you mean that this is just the start? I mean, what you've did here between yesterday and tonight, breaking into the LBYW champions home, the Alpha. Napalm, a man that was the interstate and the former world heavyweight champion on 2 occasions here, by breaking into both of those men's homes. And by the way, 2 of the most physically imposing figures, not just in LBYW, but in the backyard wrestling circuit. We know the background of Napalm. This is a man that is literally worked in the fields. He's dug ditches. He's also fought for our country, figuratively and literally. You did that. You weren't scared. We know the Alpha. We know his background. We know what he's done here in the backyard wrestling circuit. But you've taken those championships. You're going to take those championships outright at Summer Madness 4. Keep them. And you're saying when it comes to Haunted Hellfest, the biggest show that LBYW is going to ever put together, that you're going to walk away with those tag team championships maybe for good in LBYW.
That's right. I don't see the Reapers or even PBS, if you consider them a threat. And even you consider Frigid Vikings.
Well, that's a good point. I'm going to bring them up because we got an announcement that we'll get into in a few minutes. But, I mean, I guess you've learned. Before in the past, I've seen you here with a neck brace after being physically decimated by Nate Dogg in the past. We know your history with the Wilster. We even know your own history with Showtime. But, I said it last week, Psychotic Freak. It seems like for the first time in as long as I've known you, you've actually taken a page out of the playbook of the one Wilster, the man that has almost been synonymous with you for over 3 years now in LBYW. What it seems to me, for those that are watching this, that you've learned from all these things you've went through here, not only on this platform, but certainly in LBYW, and you've taken a page out of his playbook, and you've got the momentum, it seems now, going into Summer Madness 4.
So after last year, after Hellfest, I had to do some digging.
Oh, yeah.
And I rewatched some of the old stuff. I watched what the Will said. I remember some of the stuff. He was a manipulative liar. But I decided to take one of the biggest plays out of this book, and I recruited his best friend, or so-called best friend, Showtime, his bodyguard.
Yeah.
He's no longer his bodyguard. He's my bodyguard now. And so if someone breaks in, Showtime could deck him.
Oh, Showtime. I say it all the time. I mean, not just even in the backyard wrestling circuit, but really in all of wrestling. He is one of the most physically imposing and biggest figures. I mean, this is a man in backyard wrestling. And I've had on in the backyard and the underground some of size-wise the biggest men. You know, you think about the likes of Big Man Cam, the former ROEW champion of the world. You think about guys like Power Surge. I mean, there have been some guys on here from a size difference in terms of height that have come on here and have been physically imposing. Mm-hmm. Those are just two names that come to mind. There are several others. And yet Showtime might be one of the biggest of them all, maybe ever in the backyard. You think about this man's size, this man's strength. And, I mean, to have him now in your side, especially after what you've went through over the years with him. I mean, that's a major coup.
It absolutely is. And it was a thrill. I love breaking in and entering. It brings me joy. Makes me enjoy them.
Well, I hope you've learned from it. It seems like you have, because I mean, you know, previous years you've done this in previous episodes on Sportswire. You've either been brutally attacked, you've either been confronted, or, I mean, you were in a neck brace right afterwards. So, I mean, I guess you've got the man that was responsible for part of that Showtime with you. And, I mean, let me then ask you this question. I have the YouTube page up. Hit the sub button for LBYW. I'll take this off the page for a minute. We'll get the people here in the chat. And I'm going to use the wide angle here to keep this so we can show that championship. But I know you've had success here in LBYW. You've won different championships. We've talked about them here in the past. But Psychotic Freak, what would it mean to you at Summer Madness 4 to outright keep possession and alongside Showtime become the LBYW Tag Team Champions? What would that mean to you?
Oh, it would mean a lot. Not only did I steal this from them, I would outright take it from them, and that would bring me so much joy because they know they can't beat us now. Who's going to beat us? Well, it's not going to be the Reapers. Not going to be PBS. It maybe from someone from Connecticut could beat us, but even then, I don't think they could.
Well, PBS you brought up. I mean, Nate Rugger, man, you have certainly had a long history with, a long checkered past with. He's relying on Scary Terry. I mean, arguably a man that should really be what Showtime has been, and to you coming up this weekend, you may say, but he was Chris Aruta's big signing, and arguably maybe the biggest bust in backyard wrestling history, maybe even in wrestling history in signees. I mean, you think about all the time. I always bring up, in the NBA and the NFL, you always look at those draft picks that were some of the biggest bust of all time. And if we had a draft in wrestling, or certainly in backyard wrestling, I think that Scary Terry would be the biggest bust in history. And that's what Nate Dogg is relying on here to give PBS any chance of taking, I guess, what's on your shoulder right now. I mean, what's your thoughts on PBS, first of all?
Okay, so let me ask you this.
All right, ask me anything you want.
PBS won a match.
Well, how Scary Terry won a match. That's Scary Terry. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is a man that, on paper, I've had him on here. On paper, he should have by now won at least one LBYW World Championship. This is a man that should have been main eventing LBYW shows. This is a man that could have carried LBYW to the heights it is today and some. And yet, we have to think about, has he even won a match? And what does that tell you?
So he has won a match, and unfortunately, that was against me. And I
knew that. That's why I was playing along.
Nate Dogg came in that match and interfered and costed me, even though I was dominating that match throughout the entire thing. I was going to win. But
yeah, well, obviously, look, he's got one win, but the point is that almost any time he's been out there, you would think with his size and what he's been able to should have done in his career, it's shoulda, woulda, coulda. He hasn't. But the question remains is, Nate Dogg is relying on Scary Terry to pick up the phone like Showtime did. Do you think that Scary Terry will show up this Saturday and show up to the venue, to the LBYW arena here? What's your thoughts on that?
I think he does. And if he doesn't, I don't see Nate showing up. But I think he does.
Well, I think Nate shows up if he shows up, but I think that Nate is going to go out there and fight. I mean, I think that's what else is he going to do?
Nate in the past has been known to do these handicap matches 1-on-2. So,
but this is a different outcome. With your size with Showtimes, the Reapers, especially now what you did to them, taking those tag team championships, I don't know if that would be the wisest idea, don't you think?
Probably not. And if he's smart, I think he probably should not show up if Terry doesn't show up.
What do you think, though, if Terry does show up? Terry, to me, I mean, we can poke fun, and he hasn't won a match other than one against you. And
albeit controversy.
Right. I mean, that was last year. I mean, obviously, that's eons ago. But since he's been in LBYW, which goes back now about a year and a half, we're talking 17 months upwards of, he's obviously done next to nothing. If he's in the match, is this maybe the time or the place that Scary Terry maybe starts to live up to the expectations that were put upon him? Is that a concern of yours?
No, is that a concern of mine? The only concern of mine is if the blind squirrel finds a nut, and I don't think the blind squirrel's going to find a nut.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair point. All right, that's a fair point. You brought something else up. I'll get to that in a few minutes, but going back to the Reapers here, a lot has been said about now has everybody caught up to them. You pinned the Welster recently in the 6-man tag and LBYW throw on your most recent match. It seems like right now the Reapers are on their heels. Kurt Adams took the Interstate Championship away from Napalm. Sure, the Welster was pompous as usual as the face of America, pointing out that the 1-year anniversary has just passed of him being the United States champion. You had a few things to say about that in the chat last week. But it does seem like that the Reapers have come back to earth. The Alpha said it's more not about us, but the competition finally catching up. But now that you've taken possession of these tag team championships, I wonder, how is this going to change the match? Is this going to motivate the Reapers? Or is this just going to continue maybe their slide? Because as I mentioned, you hold a victory recently over the United States champion, your longtime nemesis, the one and only Welster. We know Napalm lost the Interstate Championship to Kurt Adams. They're going to have a rematch also. And the Alpha, we don't really know what's going to happen with him and his championship this coming weekend. But how do you think they're going into this weekend here, especially now that you just took possession of their championships?
I think they're going to be desperate. And you know what happens to desperate people?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
They fall flat on their face every time.
Because they're trying to do a desperate move. It's desperate times call for desperate measures. But, I mean, you took their championships away. I mean, right now, you could have said you guys had the momentum in the match. You heard what I said about you guys the last couple of weeks. I feel with your size, I feel with you being aligned with Showtime, that this is the most dangerous anybody's really been toward the Reapers. Doing this, you just pointed out, yeah, desperate times call for desperate measures. it could either backfire or this could be exactly what motivates him and motivates whether it's going to be the Alpha, whether it's going to be Napalm or even the Wilster, and maybe get back to what they were doing at the beginning of the year, which was dominating not just all of LBYW, but you could even argue all of Dakota. So this could backfire potentially. Aren't you concerned about that at all?
No, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to Showtime for a second. You know the one thing Willister did not have? Would you like to take a guess? That's Showtime's number. I have it.
Wait a minute. Time out. You mean to tell me all those years, right, when Showtime was in PBS, and we know the relationship. They had a strong relationship. We never saw any dissension. Even the Wilster said it here last week. There was no true breakup. There was no really anything. It didn't seem like anybody was on bad terms. Nate Dogg, on the other hand, was fired last year from the group. He was fired. We saw that all play out at Haunted Hellfest. But you mean to tell me all those years, Showtime and the Wilster were aligned? That the Wilster never had Showtime's phone number? Say it ain't so.
That's when I got on the phone with Showtime, he said, "Freak, you're the first person that's reached out to me via phone call."
Really? I'm shocked.
After Hellfest, after that brutal fight.
Yes, we talked about it here.
I left Hellfest. I was gone.
I know.
I decided to drive a car.
The doctors even cleared you. I was shocked that you even competed.
And then I saw Showtime walking home. I picked him up, and we had a long talk in that car ride. We forgave each other. And the biggest alliance of all time happened.
Yeah, I mean, figuratively and literally. I mean, you guys are basically, I said this last week on the show, you guys are essentially the twin towers of the backyard wrestling circuit. I've never seen anything like it. You know, in the NBA, we saw this before famously. For a brief period of time, you had Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon with Ralph Sampson. They got to the NBA Finals one year, and then injuries gave out for Ralph Sampson. But then we saw it with the San Antonio Spurs, with two guys most people heard of named Tim Duncan and the Admiral David Robinson. And together, they won not one, but two NBA championships. And we think about Psychotic freaking Showtime, the success that they've had individually in LBYW, and putting them together, well, maybe you guys could repeat the success of the Twin Towers of David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and that could certainly lead you not only to outright retaining those championships at Summer Madness 4, but keeping them for, well, maybe permanently.
Forever, yeah, absolutely. I feel bad for not only Dakota, but the country.
You know, that's a good point, because the Wilster has talked about being this face of America, you know, being the United States champion for a year. He's talked about, I mean, we saw him double down. You know, people talk about right now whether you like Trump or not. People talk about Trump trying to change the rules, trying to replace the Fed chair because he won't cut interest rates, you know, redistricting in different states, and people saying Trump is trying to use his power to keep Congress, these tariffs where he's trying to force on different countries. And the Wilster, in many ways, in LBYW as this face of America, has certainly gotten maybe into some of that mindset. But it seems like, from what you're saying, that maybe that's all going to come to an end here coming up.
Yeah, and I'm going to break this down for everyone at home. Hold on. Let me
break this down. What do you mean, break this down?
All right. I got my paper right here. So,
okay,
in a normal triple threat match, right?
Right.
You have a 33. Oh my gosh. You got a 33.3% chance at winning at best, right?
Yeah, one team out of three.
We're not normal. We're not normal. So
no,
we add my chaos. That's an extra 50% chance at winning this match. Then you forget the fact that this morning I drank expired eggnog that I haven't opened since Christmas. So that adds another 37% chance at winning this match. And then you take in the fact I suplexed the mirror yesterday, that adds another 22.2% chance at winning this match. Then you add in the fact that Showtime is 10 feet tall. That adds another 100% chance at winning. And then, do you know what's on Saturday?
Summer Madness 4.
Right. That's a full moon. That's another 100% chance at winning this match.
So what are we at now? 292%?
But then you forgot to add the fact I got a frying pan. That's another 88% chance at winning this match.
So you mean to tell me that this is gonna just be almost? We shouldn't even have the match right now. We should just basically yeah. Okay.
You got the freak multiplier, which is one since I-94. That's
yes.
So you add all that up, 33.3. You add that 50, another 37, the 22.2.
You have so many numbers right now that I'm gonna let you do this math.
Right. So that gives us a 664.45% chance at winning this match. That is basic math. Basic 6,664.
What kind? Whoa! What kind of math would they call this though?
Freak math.
Freak math. I thought there was a thing called Steiner math, but you're telling me right now that what we just heard about your chances of keeping those LBYW Tag Team Championships coming up this Saturday at Summer Madness 4 with this freak math is 664.5%.
That's right. But Will says he graduated Georgia, but he didn't attend freak math. He attended something called algebra and calculus.
In Athens, they don't teach
freak math. I teach freak math, and you should attend my class.
And I guess maybe that would be why class is going to be dismissed for him and his Reapers coming up this Saturday, and why you and Showtime with all those things you said, frying pans, size, and
I gotta say, I may not have the brains.
Suplexing a mirror.
I don't have the brains
I didn't know
either.
it was possible.
Wait, no, that's not right. Shoot. I also forgot to add in the freak math equation, PBS is in the match. That's hold on. That changes everything. That's a negative 172% chance at them winning. And then if you could give that in, that's 836% chance of us winning.
Wait. So add that again. So you're telling me another 172% is added because the negative turns. So this is going to turn into science math now instead of this is freak science math because now a negative turns into a positive. So that means 664 negative 172 really is plus 172, and that means you guys have an 836% chance of retaining those heavy championships. But that sounds great, and I'm going to get to the chat. And I get that. I hear the chances. You're basically telling me that you guys are, from what you're telling me on this freak math, that you're guaranteed to win and retain. I say that in open and closed parentheses. Retain those LBYW Tag Team Championships. But there's an episode here coming up this Friday, and it's an LBYW throne. It's almost kind of our go-home show of Summer Madness 4. And I'm curious on what you think here, and if this means anything about what could happen this Saturday, because obviously we've got a prelude here. Again, this is the go-home show, you might want to say, the throwdown, and we've got the Frigid Vikings against Tex-Mex. Now, we know the Frigid Vikings, and we know they've been down this road before. And are you watching this match with any interest, or is this match of importance to you? Because we know Frigid Vikings and the success that they've had here in LBYW. Is this something that you're paying attention to closely? Let's say even in the event of, let's say, Scary Terry not showing up, not answering Nate Dogg's phone call, and maybe even Nate Dogg going off what you've said here over the first 25 plus minutes, doesn't show up, and maybe we still get a triple threat match after all, but maybe it could be those Frigid Vikings. So are you watching this match at all with any intent?
I'm more interested to see what Tex-Mex does. I haven't seen them in action. But let's talk about the Frigid Vikings. I don't know why they're not even Vikings. They are sponsored by a guy that wears a Ragnarok max. That's like calling a team the Dinosaurs because they got a guy named Carl the T-Rex.
T-Rex is a dinosaur. It was Tyrannosaurus Rex. So obviously it's not frigid right now in North Dakota, but maybe they're gonna, let's say, cool things down from Tex-Mex, and let's say cool them off and lead that maybe into getting themselves back into the tag team division, let's say, and take or try to take those championships from you in Showtime should you keep those titles past Summer Madness 4.
Okay, look, I'll humor you.
Humor me.
Let's say Frigid Vikings win. Let's just
okay. All right, I'm going with that.
Justice has never pinned me, but guess what?
Yep.
That would become a fatal 4-way, and I'm not going to get into freak math. I can do that for you, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you must have a PhD in freak math from, I guess, Freak University. That's definitely some kind of university there. I mean, I'm sure it's accredited and all, but I mean, you seem to be. Go ahead,
Justice
I'm listening.
Would not need to pin me. I would not need to pin Justice. I could pin Scary Terry. I mean, in that sense, and that's like a free win. I mean, that's a 2,000% chance at winning just alone.
By the time we're going to be done, you're going to have a 1,000,000% chance of it. All these different numbers here being added up, and I thought I was good at math when I was in the 5th grade. I won the mental math bee in PS 102. I never forget it. I won the math bee. I remembered every question there was, but you seem to remember every way to add up these numbers. So this match at all, you're watching it with some intent, but you're focused really on what happens this Saturday in this triple threat match.
Yeah. I know what's going to happen. Spoiler alert: the Reapers don't win.
Now that's not freak math. That's just a spoiler alert, though. It can't be added into the math, because if it's a spoiler alert, that just means that you're going to tell us what you want to say.
Yeah. I mean, the math doesn't lie. That's 6,664% chance at us winning.
You do realize you could have just went and said 666.6% chance, and people would have went, oh, 666, he really is a freak. But you basically threw a curveball for us. But if you want to follow LBYW and you're nearby in North Dakota, or just here on Sportzwire Radio, hit the follow button for them on Instagram. Hit the sub button for them on YouTube. They have their next show coming up here. It's called Summer Madness 4. And one of those matches is going to take place here. It is for those LBYW Tag Team Championships, which technically the Reapers are the champions. But right now, our guest, Freak Show, actually broke into the home of not only the Alpha, but also Napalms, and he took possession of those Tag Team Championships. And he and his tag team partner, Showtime, are open and close parentheses, the LBYW Tag Team Champions. And you might want to call them, and I want somebody to quote me on this here in LBYW. So social media team, you're welcome. The Twin Towers right now of the backyard wrestling circuit are the team of Freak Show. So there you have it. They are the Twin Towers, and we'll see if that size and that strength and the possession of those tag team championships is going to allow them to retain them permanently here, and, well, keep them permanently here in LBYW. We're going to certainly find out here. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all music and wrestling matters here. So please hit the sub button for LBYW on YouTube as well. And I'll come to the chat here in a minute. I've got a few questions from people. I'll certainly come back to them. But I want to go back to the Wilster, because the Wilster had a lot to say, and you have a long history with him, and he was focused on also ending a career of someone's permanently, and a man that you certainly spoke up for, and a man that you've teamed alongside recently. Your most recent match here in LBYW, a man you teamed alongside, which is the now interstate champion, Kurt Adams, the backbone of the backyard. Some people definitely know him because he wrestled this guy, Aaron Blaze, who my guest here in the chat, who was my guest Thursday, who popped in comatose, really wants to have a match with. Kurt Adams is a man that is very well known, and the Wilster seems like he wants to make it very well known to the world that not only does he want a match with him, but he wants to end the career of the backbone of the backyard, Kurt Adams. And I was curious, especially since you just teamed alongside Mr. Adams, and you've had quite a history in your own right with the Wilster. what did you think of the Wilster's challenge that he wants for Kurt Adams? And even if Kurt Adams finds a way from his vantage point to walk away with that interstate championship, well, the Wilster, he wants to be, well, in his words, he wants it all. And not only does he want it all, he also wants to end the career of the backbone of the backyard, Kurt Adams. What is your thoughts on all that?
Kurt Adams is the sexiest man I know. Everyone knows that. Okay? And Kurt Adams will not lose. I mean, Wilster has lost to me. He's lost to the Alpha. Is that it? And then he beat White Viper? Is that who he faced at Haunted Hellfest before? I don't remember. I just know he's a big loser. Maybe the biggest loser in LBYW. Other than
but he's been champion for a year now. This face of America, he's been champion of the year.
No, but what he's a fraudulent champion. He all he needs is help. That's what he does. He gets help from his butt buddies, and they help him win. He doesn't really do much in those matches.
So you don't agree though about the fact that, listen, you were in PBS once upon a time with the Wilster.
But no. I was never in that faction.
Okay, all right. Well, you fought that faction. All right, so you know the Wilster very well. You've had a long history with him, right? Yeah. And he had Nate Dogg. He had Showtime. He had Just Ice. He had all those people, right, in his group. But he also had a long-standing personal grudge with the Alpha. He had his issues with Napalm, but he was able to unify them. He was able to put this faction together that arguably was more successful than PBS. You know better than anybody. You fought against PBS for years, and you don't take credit or see in what the Wilster was saying that, you know what, the Wilster, no, he's not the weak link. Maybe he's the brains, and what a bang-up job he did by putting this group together and the success they had. So what do you say to all that?
That is probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to be honest with you.
Tell me what.
He is the dumbest human being.
That's what he said on here last week. He felt that he was the brains to put this group together, and he got everybody, even though they're not friends really, but to put their differences aside to just totally dominate. And they even went to South Dakota and they showed their muscle there. I mean, they took away once upon a time Kurt Adams' YouTube championship there in SBW. They took it away from him. I mean, they've exerted their influence even outside of LBYW.
And it reminded me, how did they win? Was it via controversy?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, but wins a win. But wins a win, though. You know, in this industry, as you know, in the record books, they don't say, well, it's by an asterisk. They don't say, well, that was questionable. They just give you the win. I mean, it may not be the right way. It may not be a way you and I would do it, but they kept winning.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they won. But there's always going to be the asterisk, right? There will always be, you won at what cost? The smartest person in this group, I'm going to be honest, it's the Alpha. He created this whole company, right?
Yeah.
He hired the Wilster. How much is this guy paying Will? I don't know.
I mean, listen, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that question. But listen, the long-standing history between those two men, but they're working together, and we know what the Reapers have done. You felt that firsthand. You felt their wrath. You felt it more so than anybody.
And, you know, not only do I have Showtime with me, I have this big plan on how to take down PBS. It's a huge plan.
Well, don't say it on here, because if you say it on here, you know that the Wilster, the Alpha, and Napalm are going to hear it. They're just going to know the plan by Wednesday. You just, by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, then by Saturday comes around, the plan's, well, it's going to be thwarted. So you don't want to do that.
No. It's going to be a surprise to them. I don't think they're ready for this.
Okay. They're not going to be ready. But Kurt Adams, you think if Kurt Adams and the Wilster went one-on-one, that the Wilster
Doesn't stand a chance.
calling out Kurt Adams is a grave mistake on his behalf.
Absolutely. It's he's writing his own death. You might as well dig a grave right now. It's over for Will.
Well, what do you think, though, coming up this weekend about another rung of the Reapers and the Interstate Championship match, the rematch between Kurt Adams and Napalm? You know, I said it on here last week that I think that is going to be pound for pound one of the most physical matches in backyard wrestling this entire year. We saw what happened last month when Kurt Adams won the Interstate Championship away from Napalm. We know that Napalm was here on this platform last year, and he wanted Kurt Adams. These two men have been at odds with each other. They've been at odds with each other for about a year. You know, people have talked about on this platform the likes of James Taylor and Dalton Skull, Comatose and Aaron Blaze most recently. But Napalm and Kurt Adams, those guys for the better part of a year have been at each other's throats. What do you think happens here this weekend?
All right. So here's what's going to happen. The bell's going to ring, and he's going to clock Napalm, and that's going to be it.
That's it? No, it can't be that simple. Listen, Napalm, with his physical background, with his history, I mean, he's going to put up a fight. You can't tell me that.
He used to put up a fight, and now he's just a little bitch that cries in the corner. I mean, that's just facts. I mean, hate to break it to you.
Kurt Adams said, though, that, listen, but you don't take into consideration that Kurt Adams said that the Alpha and Napalm are the two toughest people he has ever fought in his career. I mean, that includes some really heavy hitters that have come on this platform. That includes Aaron Blaze. That includes a lot of other guys that have been on my platform over the years. I mean, Kurt Adams is a well-renowned, traveled wrestler in the backyard circuit. He did say that the Alpha and Napalm are the two toughest wrestlers he's ever competed against. You just think that I was just going to clock Napalm and that's it? Nah, Napalm's going to put up a fight.
I think Kurt Adams is giving him too much credit, and I think he's overestimating him. I don't think it's going to be as close as you think. I'm going to be honest.
So then that's why the Wilster has no business wanting to go as far as he has and wanting Kurt Adams and wanting to end his career and wanting it all. So the Wilster in this case, from what you're telling me, he has no idea what he's getting into.
And he calls himself the last real champion. Hey, no.
Yes.
No.
He's the longest reigning champion right now in LBYW. I mean, you can't, dispute that.
No, I can't dispute that, but he won't be the last real champion. That's because Kurt Adams will bury him. If that match happens, I think it's a mistake.
And obviously, right now, the Reapers are on their heels. I mean, Kurt Adams has pinned Napalm. He's pinned Napalm on a few occasions. He won a match to get interjected in an interstate title match. You pinned the Wilster, and right now, I mean, the Reapers are on their heels. But I just do wonder what you've done tonight in stealing their tag team championships. Could this backfire? Could this potentially backfire and maybe give them the fire that they need to potentially take back those tag team championships and get back to what they were doing for the better part of this year, which was dominating everyone here in LBYW?
No, I explained it. I
understand. You gave me the freak math. You gave me the freak math. I mean, listen, forget about Steiner math. I mean, it's freak math now. You have a PhD in freakomath. I mean, it's freakomathics. I mean, listen, people talk about, thugonomics. It's freakonomics. I mean, that's what it is here. I mean, that's what you've done. But, I mean,
okay.
I hope for your sake you know what you're doing.
I do. Let's break down this year. Earlier,
okay, let's break it down. Let's do it.
I broke into the Wilster's house. Remember?
I remember.
I was in his lovely office. It smells like shit, by the way. Just want to let you know. And They beat me up in his office, and then they had their own interview called Sportswire Reaper Radio. Remember
Yes,
that?
I do.
But,
Yes.
I'm sorry about that, by the way. That should never have happened. And then now the season started, and now the Reapers are on their heels. I stole their title, and we'll win on Saturday. Nate Paul.
We're going to find out. I tell you what. I mean, you seemed. I'll give you this much. You've been on here, I don't know, 3 or 4 times by now. This is the first time that I do truly feel like you've got a plan. I do feel like that you have learned from the Wilster. I do feel that you have taken a page out of his playbook. You have certainly gone on the offensive. I think aligning yourself with Showtime was a shrewd move. I think obviously now going in here, and I hope it's an even shrewder move by stealing Napalm and the Alphas Tag Team Championships is an even shrewder move. And then on top of that, aligned with a man you have such a history with. I mean, you've definitely, like I said, done something different here, but maybe that's what you needed to do here on this road to Summer Madness 4. And if you're here right now, because I see a lot of people in the chat, we're going to get to you shortly, hit that sub button for LBYW. Maybe it's the first time you're here, you're seeing Psychotic Freak on. Maybe it's the first time you're hearing about Summer Madness, but whatever it is, please support Legendary Backyard Wrestling. They have certainly been legendary on this platform. Psychotic Freak, you might be the most legendary of all the members of Sportswire. This man has nearly been decapitated on this platform, but he is here right now. And let's get to the chat. I think a lot of people want to say something. I've got some things I want to give you, so we'll take this off the screen. I'm very excited about the card here coming up, by the way. We've got, just as a reminder here, coming up this Friday, we've got one more stop to Summer Madness 4. We've got Tex-Mex and the Frigid Vikings. They're going to be in action here. Pay attention to that match very closely. We'll see what happens there. We've also got the open challenge from El Sombre. I mean, that was something that kind of the Alpha spoke about for a few minutes. Not sure what happens there. Obviously, we'll certainly pay attention to that on the LBW YouTube and Instagram pages. The match that I think should be the main event for that Interstate Championship, Napalm and Kurt Adams, maybe the most physical feud in the backyard wrestling circuit over the past year. It's going to come to an end here. We know what these two men have put each other through. That's gone in South Dakota, North Dakota. That comes to an end here. And obviously, our guest, which is a part of it, that triple threat for the tag team championships here, which I guess you could say they hold right now. I guess you could technically say they're the current tag team champions. But
I hope the Wilster's watching.
He's in the chat. He's in the chat. We're going to get to him. He's in the chat. Freak Show, PBS. We think PBS is showing up, and the Reapers, whatever form of the Reapers we'll get, whether it's the Wilster, Napalm, or Alpha. I do really wonder about Napalm if he's going to be in this match, especially because he's got Kurt Adams that he's still, and we talked a lot about that with the Alpha and the Wilster. About it was very important to get back that Interstate Championship. But again, the Wilster had a response for that too. But let's get to the chat. I want a lot of people to come in here. They want to talk to you. Zilla's here first. She would like to say hello. The Wilster, he was very opinionated on Instagram about you coming on.
I almost yapped. I was at work and I almost yapped.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're here now, and you're definitely working the angle that maybe just those Reapers they're on their heels. And hello to everybody here. I want to say hello to my women's champion in the WVWF and the sick and twisted Jade May, who was here a little over 10 days ago, and she had a lot to say. And we have more WVWF coverage coming up.
Hear me out. Jade May and the Psychotic Freak meet. You say that she's sick and twisted. Now imagine the Psychotic Freak meets Jade May, and he's sick and twisted. I don't think you want to be in that room.
That would be like Twisted Tea. Think about a Twisted Tea drink. I had Jade May on here. Jade May is definitely not one to mess with, and you're not one to mess with now, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, you know what? This is the platform that's put people together. So, if there's a will, there's a way. Get it? There's a will, there's a way. But how you doing there, Jade May? And I mean, management's kind of baffled as well. I don't recall you being a tag team champion. Now, I don't know what the criminal laws are in North Dakota. I don't know what they are. I would think they would be a lot more stringent than they are in New York, but I guess so far, your governor hasn't called anybody up, or the police
Yeah.
haven't been called. So
Kelly Armstrong's scared of me. So
okay, well, you know what? I'm going to leave that at that. So maybe that is the case. And the Senate Majority Leader comes from North Dakota. That's John Thune. So we'll see. Maybe he's too busy. Yeah. But Princess Jade is here, who I know will be tuned in tomorrow night because the Underground OG Darkron is here. But yeah, very interesting. Jade is, maybe you're warming her up. Hello to Jade Knight. We love Jade Knight. Yes, yes, yes. And yeah. This is not your tag
Villa,
team
sorry,
chair.
I will be your new tag team champion.
So I guess wouldn't it be and still LBYW tag team champion if you
I guess it would.
I'm gonna let management figure that out. Hit the sub button for LBYW. We would appreciate that very much. Please support our friends here in LBYW. We appreciate them so much. They've been with us here for the better part of 2+ years. Please support them and the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. You see them featured in many of those shows as well. And also, I've got a YouTube page. My old YouTube page is where you can watch us live. So if you're here, do me a favor, hit the sub button to my YouTube channel, my old one, where you can watch this and watch some of our other recent shows on Sportswire Radio in case you've forgotten where to find us on Sportswire Radio. So hit the sub button for me there, and I appreciate everybody here. And let's get to some more comments because we have a bunch of them here tonight. You said you're in prime time, and I give you that much. As a champ question to one city to another, does this count as you being a champ, or is it still? Yeah, I'm confused. I think that's a question for the management of LBYW. But
it's both, Jade. It is both.
I gotta call it down. I understand it, but I gotta call it down the middle. It's up to management. I mean, you've got possession of it, but I mean, listen. If the Kansas City Chiefs took the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl trophy this year, would you consider the Kansas City Chiefs as the Super Bowl champions this year?
Yeah. Who they would be in possession of the trophy, wouldn't they?
Well, I don't know. I don't know in the record books. I mean, I know Travis is home with Taylor. That's his trophy. He probably wants that trophy more so than this year's Super Bowl trophy. But that's up to the NFL record books. That's up to the commissioner, Commissioner Goodell, who, by the way, comes from my state.
Right.
Well, you know what? I guess she's warming up to you. Who knows? But
I got a chance.
Yeah, well, you got a chance. Listen, definitely, things have happened over a lot the last few weeks. Maybe it's everyone's got a little Ozzy in them now, the Prince of Darkness. It counts. I guess you're convincing her. When can I have Justin Parsley on? It's up to Justin Parsley. He hasn't wanted to come on. I mean, I had Anthony Steele on. I have Darkron tomorrow. You're in a photo with him. You know him better than me at this point. Get out of my dreams and get into my car. Well, obviously that's a lyric from a song from the movie License to Drive, which was definitely a long time ago. And that was a long time ago now that you took those tag team championships. But hit the sub button for me while you're here.
Only been 24 hours.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of people that I referenced, who was here Thursday night, Comatose, who was trying to be the king of the West, the GOAT of BYW, but he didn't quite take tag team championships from not one but two houses, which you seem to have. But obviously, I'm sure Comatose has an opinion on that. Hello to Comatose. He'll be in action tomorrow night. The man, yeah, I mean, listen, the 600, what were we up to, 2,000% at one point? Yeah, show us again.
It's 6,664.45%.
See, I've heard a lot of my platform. We had once upon a time, Joe Starr had a list of wrestlers that he wanted to wrestle, and then the list was made as, I was just kidding. Then Jake Dvorak had his own list. You've now got your own man.
No, I didn't make it up. It makes sense.
If you retain those tag team championships, I guess going with it this Saturday, then yeah, it made sense, and you were onto something. Hello to Zilla, yes. Follow LBYW on Instagram. Simple as that. Yeah, I think Comatose, you pretty much just nailed it. It's a very big percentage. It's the biggest percentage I've ever seen. I'm doing this 6.5 years, and I've had Rhino one year. I've had all the big heavy metal bands of the 80s. Great White, LA Gun, which, by the way, I was mentioned in Blabbermouth once again today. So And Just Ice has
I did forget about that. I've never beat her, so respect to her.
Well, you know what? You've obviously went through a lot last year, nearly dying here on this platform and nearly ending your career and obviously being beat up senselessly. And so you went through a lot. I want to say hello to the lovely Athena. I haven't seen her in a while. Hello, Athena. I hope you are doing well. And she definitely
is she winking at me or is she winking at you?
She can look at you, but I'm definitely looking at the back of her because she's got a definitely a nice behind of hers. But I'll leave that at that. But she knows that. I'll tell her that anytime. But we'll see if she's still here. But the Wilster has had enough, and he owns your sorry ass.
I made him lay down for 10 whole seconds. I won the last man standing match.
You did, but he got the upper hand because he's the face of America.
Oh, brother. Oh, God.
He's the face of America.
Did he pay you off?
Oh, I don't take payolas. And trust me, my bank account's much bigger than almost anybody's around. So I don't. Okay. We don't have to take payolas. I just call it down the line. But he's got that U.S. championship, that he's the face of America. What he said, I mean, you know, some people might want him as the face of America compared to what we have now. But I'm not going to comment on politics. I'll leave that at that. But I certainly appreciate what everybody's trying to do out there. And you are. I think he meant to say you were a goof, just like Kurt Adams.
No, I think he meant what you said. You are as good, just like Kurt. I mean,
you are good. You are good.
Yeah. Just as good as Kurt.
Yeah,
that's what I got out of that.
On August 9th, Napalm is kicking Kurt Adams' butt.
I don't think so. I don't think it'd be close.
I think it'll be a very close match. No, I think that this match will be one of the most physical matches around. I think these two guys are going to put on a heck of a match.
Okay. I'll play your game. Okay, I'll play it.
I got to listen. Napalm is a multiple-time LBYW world champion. He is going to put up a fight. He's a tough guy. Adam himself said that. I said already on here with you.
I hear you, but last time they faced, the last couple times they faced, it was a war, an absolute war.
Yeah.
Kurt Adams now has film, and I don't think Napalm watches this film. So now Adams has all this film.
How do you know that? Well, now, but you just saying that Napalm's going to watch the tape.
No, he's not. He's not that.
Yes,
smart.
He is.
He's as dumb as a box of rocks.
No, Adams himself gave him credit, and I think Wilster now is calling. No, now Wilster's got Napalm's phone number. He may not have got Showtime's phone number, but he's calling Napalm right after this and telling him to watch that tape. You know that.
No, he's not.
No, I disagree. I like you, but I'm going to disagree with you on. I don't know if you
lock your doors then. Lock your damn doors.
You know I'm going to leave that to the North Dakota police to decide. A PhD in being a thief. There you go. Let's use that button here. And Diddy also has a degree in freakonomics. Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good point, Comatose. Yeah. Definitely. And it smells because you were in there. We're going to leave that in there. And Wilster's really had.
I am the ultimate mastermind here, Will. I got this big plan. You're not even ready for it.
You just signed your death warrant. I mean, I hope that you have the protection from Showtime, because if the Reapers get their way, you reap what you sow. You ever hear that old expression?
Next.
Yeah, give him a damn set of handcuffs.
I was in handcuffs before, and what happened?
You're here right now. Yeah, there you go. North Dakota's close to Idaho. How far is Idaho from North Dakota?
Bring on Comatose. I'll take. Give me the smoke.
Comatose isn't the Welster. I'll just put it out there.
Yeah, I got that. But
okay, I don't know how far Bismarck, North Dakota is from where Comatose is in Idaho, but if there's a way to connect. What's that?
It's quite a ways.
It is. I thought it was, because I feel like this came up on Sportswire. I feel like this has come up before, because Comatose was like maybe 9 hours away or something like that. I don't know. And the Wilster's not having it. He is not having any of that.
Yeah.
You have no shot at Jade May. I mean, listen, I'm going to say no comment on that, because
I think I do.
I'm going to respectfully say whatever happens, happens. Hit the sub button for me. Who else we have here in the chat? He meant Goof. I knew that the
No,
Will.
I think you meant just as good as myself.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with that here. Only time will tell you hold the title. This is the only time you. Well, you've held gold before. But.
Yeah, not the first time. I was at one time the longest reigning U.S. champion.
Yes, no, I know you won the U.S. title.
champion.
Yep, you were U.S.
And now I am your tag team champion.
Well, that's up to LBYW's record books to acknowledge that. I'm not sure, and I'm not stopping the tomahawk chop because I've been doing it now for 6 months. We explained this on last week's show. So no, we're not doing that. No, there's no stopping the tomahawk chop. I mean, there's just no stopping it. There's just no stopping it. And Billy Ocean sucks. Yeah, thank you for at least. Well, he's old. He would know that was Billy Ocean because he was alive. None of us were alive.
He's like
none of us were alive when License to Drive was out. So what would we?
I mean, know? He was around when the Civil War happened. I mean, let's be real.
Well, hey, he's visited a lot of important sites as the face of America. I don't know what you're trying to imply there. She's winking at Tom. I don't know about that, but. He even has my mom going crazy over those curls. Well, I don't know if your mom. I think your mom, I think is taken. But I mean, I do appreciate that. If she's not, I don't know. Maybe we can talk about that. Maybe not. Odds are stacked in favor of PBS of all 3 options at Summer Madness. Correct?
My math works out. It's not in favor. He has that negative 172% chance.
I don't know how this. Listen, maybe we all need to go. You know what? I thought I went to college. I thought taking law in college, and I took economics in college. I took economics. I took business. I took accounting in high school. I was told I was very good at it. My professor, Professor Lashinsky thought I was very good at accounting. My Professor Cullen, my Professor Tillis. In high school and college, yes, I remembered all my teachers. They said I was very shrewd. I thought I did very good in business, and yet with your math, maybe I need to go back to school again because you're telling me with these odds that you have such a great chance of retaining and keeping these championships that it's going to be permanent. I don't know, but somebody may want to help me here with that. I actually won my title. Yeah, see what I mean? It's a year in counting.
I'm going to throw it up.
I don't know. And wrong. Management says it's wrong. See? I mean, you are credited as tag team champions.
I'm going to be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, guys, this is the future. Take a picture. Make it last.
Well, that's a Filter song, the band Filter. Take a picture. I mean, that's the picture. So you're telling everybody get the pictures out because this is going to be a picture that's going to be permanent, right? I just want to make sure.
We will be the last tag team champions.
Okay, well, if that's what you say, I mean, we're going to find out. That's the only way is by hitting the sub button for the LBYW YouTube page, and I've continued to put that up throughout the show. And I'm rooting for the North Dakota Reapers no matter what.
Zilla is really getting on my last nerves. Okay? I just want to put that out there.
Okay. Well, you know what? Listen, remember, they could be motivated. They could be motivated. You had a big crowd here tonight. You got a lot of people watching this. You could be motivated. Listen, sometimes this backfires. I see this all the time in sports. Fear the Reapers. Yep.
I thought management is supposed to be neutral.
That's up to management. I don't have any control of what people say.
I think what I need to do, I need to break into management home, and
that would be a poor idea because you do realize we have a bunch of people here watching this live, and I've had Rhino on this platform. I've been featured in the heavy metal magazine Blabbermouth 6 times. You do realize by doing that you're going to jeopardize us getting these big names on here. So maybe you should want to take that back and say you're not going to break into anybody's homes, and when you do it already after. Then you come on here and say you did it. So by doing that on here, that's a criminal.
I'll continue breaking.
Let's go back on the tape. We're going to roll the footage and say no. We're that's not happening. We're not condoning this on Sportswire. So we're going to set the record straight on that. And my close personal friend and knew WWE
No,
champion Cody Rhodes.
You
I mean,
never
I didn't
even talked to him. Never even talked to him.
And Cody Rhodes was literally, by the way, just for the audience, Cody Rhodes was just literally a few miles from where I live. He actually went to a place, Crispy Pizza, which I've actually eaten at many times. I mean, I actually have a friend that works there. So, small world. She's married. So there you go. Yeah.
A shoot.
And like I said, Comatose, he's in Idaho. You're in North Dakota. You focused on this weekend. He'll focus on tomorrow's BTW episode. But
right.
you never know.
I'll watch.
That's very nice of you. What a gentleman you are. What a gentleman, a Rhodes Scholar. But you're all pretty close. You never know. Yeah, listen, close enough. Who knows? The camera would break.
Why would the camera break?
Management is polling for Adams. We have favorites. However, we keep it fair.
So let me break this down. They're polling for Adams, but yet they also like the Reapers. You can't like the Reapers and pull for Adams. That's like being a fan of the Yankees and Red Sox.
I'm a fan of neither, so what do I know? I'm a fan of neither, but I'm going to not talk about the Yankees and Red Sox. But, I got something for you. I know we got a few more things to get into here. It's been a certainly lively episode. You never disappoint. I'll say one thing. You're definitely not Scary Terry on Sportswire. Let's put it that way. You're definitely not.
That was pretty hard to watch.
That was, I got to be honest, and I don't want to dunk on anybody, but I have been doing this 6.5 years, and I mentioned the names that have been on this platform. But Scary Terry was probably one of the most difficult episodes I've ever done in my career. That includes my first few episodes when I didn't know what I was doing. That one was definitely one that go watch the tape. But maybe Scary Terry will be motivated by hearing this. You never know. So you know what?
I guess the blind squirrel could find a nut, but I don't think he does.
I mean, you're going to find out. You could be in the ring with him if he answers that phone call from Nate Dogg. I'll tell you that much. But I got something for you. No, it's not Kurt Adams coming on here. No, it's not Nate Dogg. No, it's not the Reapers again.
Oh, I was hoping.
No, it's not that. It's none of that. But for those that are listening and watching here on Sportswire Radio, my friend, congratulations. You're the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.
So beautiful. I was wondering what this would look like. I knew it was coming.
You knew what was now? Did you need freak math that tell you that the odds were what 9,174%, or it was by carrying the 2, dividing by 7, adding by 14?
I actually did the math. So Haley's comment was coming down. That's a 300% chance.
Okay, all right.
And because I'm gonna win on Saturday, that's a 666.4%. Carried is 6. That's a 6,666% chance. That gives us a 6,966.4% chance I was going to get this award. The math doesn't lie. I may not have the brains. I also don't have the bronze. No.
Well, you got the gold. I mean, bronze. You got the gold. You got the gold. You got the gold. There's no bronze. You got the gold. You got the prize that everybody wants, and the Twin Towers have possession of that. And you can take this. We'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. And the Wilster says, screw the Mets. Well, the Mets have their own struggles, but we're not talking about the Mets because the Atlanta Braves, obviously, they're no one's even talking about them this year. We won't get into that. But obviously, we are here with the Psychotic Freak. We are getting ready for the road to Summer Madness, which, by the way, takes place this coming Saturday. There are some really, really good matches that you really need to watch and pay attention to. And the way you can do that here is on the LBYW's YouTube page. You can do that there by hitting the sub button for them. You can also follow them on Instagram. You can also follow them as a part of the Backyard Wrestling Nexus YouTube and Instagram pages. LBYW has a Facebook page. And we will have LBYW coverage post Summer Madness 4 in the coming weeks. And we are going to be on that road to Haunted Hellfest. We'll certainly get into that when that time comes. And we are here with the Psychotic Freak for a few more minutes. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryson. By the way, a very action-packed card. And before we get to Saturday's show, just as a reminder, this coming Friday, a special Road to Throwdowns one more for the go home on Summer Madness 4. We've got a prelude here on Throwdown. It's Tex-Mex versus the Frigid Vikings. Frigid Vikings have certainly been here in the tag team division before. They've had a lot of success, and who knows what this could lead to. So just as a reminder, everybody, YouTube page, LBYW, this Friday afternoon, tune in because there'll be a go-home match coming up on an episode of Throwdown right before Summer Madness 4, and it'll be Tex-Mex versus the Frigid Vikings. Also, as a reminder, Kurt Adams versus Napalm, the rematch. What a war they've been going through here the past year. That'll be for the Interstate Championship. Right now, Kurt Adams is the incumbent. He's also the SBW YouTube champion. Also, we're going to see El Sombre's Open Challenge. Will be very interesting to see what happens there.
And all in action. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that's to me maybe the biggest wild card here coming up this coming weekend. What happens there with the El Sombre Open Challenge? I think that's a big mystery, and I know you've got your hands focused on becoming and retaining. I'm saying becoming because you can retain and become at the same time, but you've certainly got your focus on these tag team championships, which you hold possession of. You were an interesting guy here, Psychotic Freak. I'll give you that much here. Freak Show, those Reapers, which were the incumbents, and also PBS. And if Scary Terry shows up, who the heck really knows? This is the main event. This is the official main event of LBYW Summer Madness 4. You've also got, again, Kurt Adams and Napalm Interstate Championship one more time. El Sombre's Open Challenge. A lot of great stuff here. So please support LBYW, and the best is certainly yet to come from this company, and we look forward to all that. Okay, obviously we spoke about a lot tonight. Is there anything else that you want to get off your chest here before this coming Saturday?
I know the year is coming where this will be our final year. It's kind of sad to me because I enjoy wreaking havoc on everyone, but I don't want it to end. So,
I enjoy having you come on sports. Maybe you can break into more people's homes next year still. I mean, maybe you can be like the Wet Bandits in the Home Alone movie.
If anyone out there wants me on their show next year, my schedule's open.
So wait a minute. Time out. You mean to tell me that you're willing to travel?
I'm willing to travel.
Okay, with your size and what you bring to the table? Comatose is in BTW. He's in Oregon. He wrestles out of Oregon. I'm sure we could find other places that maybe would want to take a Psychotic Freak, especially maybe you bring those tag team championships along with you,
And maybe Showtime comes with me. We'll see. That would be a little tougher to get, but I want to travel. I want to continue this career of wreaking havoc in people's lives. It brings me joy.
So you're not done. Regardless of what happens with LBYW's future, you've decided that not just breaking the law, what you've done certainly quite a bit, but you now want to travel, and you want to travel to roads that may lead outside of LBYW and maybe test what this Psychotic Freak can do elsewhere. That's what you're telling me, that you're an open book and, well, have cool will travel.
Well, I think things would certainly get interesting, and the law bends when I arrive. Let's just say that.
Okay, well, I hope for your sake the laws in other states are just as lenient as they are in North Dakota. I never would have guessed.
Well, maybe I'll just go to New York. I don't think they have any laws over there. So.
No, New York, there's no laws. New York, you can, no joke. New York, you can urinate in public. They do nothing. New York, you could go and rob somebody and mug them. They'll give you free tickets to the Mets games, to Citi Field. New York, you can not pay your subway and bus fare, and nothing happens to you. New York, it's basically now become like the inmates run the asylum. So you'll fit in perfectly. You'd fit in like a club. So there you go. So that's why you're our people. But we'll wish him the best with his future endeavors, and also hello to the one and only IMF Hardcore Champion, Mr. Ox McCoy, who he's been listening, and hopefully we gave him something interesting to talk about. If you are truly open to travel, come to the best company in the yard. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You know what? Since I'm a gentleman and I am a diplomat, and I like to call things down the middle, Mr. Freak. I'll personally give you Mr. Comatose information, so you can exchange information with him. You could talk to him about that. He'll connect you, and I'll send you his personal information when we're off the air, because I'm just a nice guy like that. So you can talk to him and see what maybe you can do with each other. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and maybe just take a break from watching LBYW. Well, they don't have much longer, Zilla. They only have a few months.
Zilla might want to be careful. If you keep supporting the Reapers, I might just go down to his place or her place and break into.
No. We don't want to do that. No. You want to go break into the Reapers place like you just did with the Alpha Napalm? I'm okay with that. You want to break into Wilster? Not that I'm agreeing with anybody breaking in anywhere, but don't break into Zilla's home. We want to keep Zilla here watching the shows and. I
wasn't going to do anything bad. Just a talk.
Okay.
Just a talk.
Okay, well, talking and whatever it is, I'm sure he'll do it here. But hello to Ox McCoy. All right, let me ask you, though, this before I get to closing thoughts. Okay. Do you have any final words, though, for the Reapers? Do you have any final words for PBS before this Saturday?
I feel bad for PBS. I feel bad for the Reapers because they're going to lose.
No, you don't feel bad for the Reapers. What they put you through, you don't feel bad for them. Come on.
What? By feeling bad, I feel bad.
Fail that lie detector. I like you. I just put you in my Hall of Fame, but you, objectively speaking, would fail that lie detector test with a 2F. You would get an F double minus. You would fail that lie detector test. You talk about the freak math. Well, that lie detector test that you feeling bad for the Reapers, no, you would fail that and some.
But by feeling bad, I mean, I feel bad that they stand no chance. It's kind of sad.
Well, according to your math, they don't stand a chance.
It's sad because they used to be on top of the world. It's kind of sad to watch people from top of the world fall to rock bottom.
Well, I mean that's a thing in sports. We see it all the time. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, people don't always stay on top, but the Reapers, maybe they hear this and this motivates them. But you do make a point that, listen, the Reapers have struggled recently. You have pinned the Wilster. Kurt Adams has multiple wins over Napalm. Ragnarok has pinned the Alpha. And Napalm lost that interstate championship. And you and Showtime now hold possession of the LBYW Tag Team Championships, whether that's recognized in the LBYW record books. Mm-hmm. I'll leave that to management, but this is a reason why we're very excited about the main event this coming Saturday. Summer Madness 4 for the LBYW Tag Team Championships. We'll have the team of PBS. We think Nate Dogg will be there. Remains to be seen about Scary Terry. We're going to have the Reapers. We're going to have the Wilster, Napalm, and the Alpha. And we're also going to have the team of Freak Show, Showtime, and our guest right now, the Psychotic Freak, who apparently hold possession of the LBYW tag team.
In case anyone missed it, it's right here.
Yeah. Well, the entire show. They definitely didn't miss it, dude. And also, I do think the biggest question coming up here at Summer Madness 4 is Napalm. Napalm could be having double duty, and that will certainly play a factor into maybe this freak math. I think that's another thing that maybe that freak math could be onto something. I don't know.
And can I pipe in here? You say that this interstate championship will be a war, right?
I think that objectively speaking, it's going to be a war. Yeah.
If he decides to pull double duty.
Yeah.
My freak math tells me that they have a 0.00001% chance because of Napalm pulling double duty. That's basically Alpha in a handicap match at that point, right?
Well, the Wilster, I'm sure he's the face of America. He's been champion over a year. I would certainly not sleep on the Wilster.
I don't think you did. I think he's too big of a coward to face me.
No, I think the Wilster. I think because him being the face of America and the reigning defending United States champion will want to show the world why he wants to end the career of Kurt Adams. We'll have to find out. I mean, listen, we don't know. There's a lot of question marks right now. Will Scary Terry show up? Will Napalm pull double duty? What about the Face of America, the Worcester? What about the go-home match at Throwdown this Friday? Frigid Vikings. They may want to be interjected into that tag team championship. We really don't know. We really don't know. But I think the talking has now come to an end. I think that you've got to certainly check out LBYW's YouTube page, Instagram page, Facebook page. Psychotic Freak is the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Please support him and definitely look for more LBYW coverage on that road to Haunted Hellfest next month. You will see a slew of your favorite LBYW stars, and something tells me that you, sir, will be back on Sportswire Radio. I have a very strong, going with that freak math, a very high percentage of that the Psychotic Freak will be back on Sportswire Radio. And definitely we made the right decision not going to Raw. It was quite a bumpy ride today. I started at 5 in the morning my day, went to the dentist, need a root canal, had an opportunity to have a nice meal in Manhattan, had an opportunity to see ringside seats at Raw, but I said no. The Psychotic Freak is here, and you certainly lived up to the billing as you usually do. And yes, congratulations, you, my friend, on going into the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame as the newest member. And I can't wait to talk with you post Summer Madness 4. But I'm going to pass the baton to you now. I'm going to give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? I'm going to allow you that opportunity. And the floor now is yours, my friend. And fire away.
You know, this match will be a war. You know, the Freak Math camp cannot. The Freak Math can't show that, but it will be a war this weekend. And it's going to be a fight. Unlike Napalm, he doesn't stand a chance. But it's going to be a war. We're going to fight. We're going to claw. But we will win. And it's sad that this is the final road of WYW.
I know. And, you know, I don't want to talk about that tonight because we have a lot to get into. But I know that road in...
It's coming quick.
Three. You know, it's funny. Today, I was outside, as I said, with my friend, and we were talking. It's already August. It's August 4th, 4 weeks to Labor Day. It's like, where does the time... I just remember yesterday it was February. The year just started. Now... we're in August. We're 4 weeks to Labor Day. So, yeah, the time is flying. Summer always goes quicker than a New York minute. And, we'll be here, you know, probably November, December, and, you know, talking about the finality. But until then, we have a lot to get to. We have a road we have a long road until Haunted Hellfest. And the way you keep up to date with that road, that long, winding road, to Haunted Hellfest is by hitting that sub button to LBYW. And you can do that right there. So please hit the sub button for them. And we will be talking a lot about Summer Madness. For as a reminder, one more time, Friday, this coming Friday on the LBYW YouTube page, Go Home Show, Summer Madness 4, Tex-Mex versus the Frigid Vikings on Throwdown. Saturday, main event, Tag Team Championships on the line. Our guest who holds possession of them, he'll be in action. Yes, one more time, hold it up. Napalm and Kurt Adams, Interstate Championship, El Sombre Open Challenge. A lot to get into here. Support LBYW. My friend, I guess congratulations on taking the Tag Team Championship. You say you're going to keep him permanently. We'll certainly talk about it post-Saturday, but congratulations on going in to the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. I look forward to having you on here before Haunted Hellfest and certainly talking about what transpired here this Saturday. And don't get in trouble with the law of North Dakota. Maybe don't push your luck with breaking into people's homes, and we'll have to see if you continue to take pages out of the Wilster's playbook to keep you on open and closed parentheses on top. But thank you as always, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, nice seeing you.
All right, that was, I guess, the man you might want to say that holds possession, whether it's legal or not, of those LBYW Tag Team Championships, the Psychotic Freak, and he is going to be in action this coming Saturday for LBYW's next premium live event called Summer Madness 4, in the main event where he will be wrestling with those Tag Team Championships. alongside his tag team partner Showtime. They are the team called Freak Show. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for me on my old YouTube page. Follow me on Instagram. We've reached 2,000 followers. Thank you so much, everybody on Instagram. I also want to thank everybody. I'm in blabbermouth.net for the new songs that Great White is releasing. I'm quoted in there. Thank you to Blabbermouth. Thank you to the band. I'll be here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time, with the Underground OG Darkron, the man that hosted the first 2 Summer Bashes, also a part of ROEW. He'll have a few things to talk about, so please tune into that as well. But until then, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one, the Level Radio Station, the Sportswire Radio, where all music and wrestling matters. And also, go follow the Psychotic Freak on Instagram. And yeah, maybe you'll be visiting Comatose real soon, and we'll connect you guys. But until then, thank you, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.